Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, whenever and wherever you may be listening to us. You have your ears locked into the Caps Locks and Jerry Shots podcast. However, this is not a regular show. Oh, no, ladies and gentlemen, this is a one-night-only special. We were not real happy with how we ended the first year of the Caps Locks and Jerry Shots podcast, so we decided we were going to take things and do a one-night-only special, giving an in-depth breakdown to the show of shows, the 34th WrestleMania. Joining me is my Miztourage, if you will. My tag team partners. First up, he is the muscle of the podcast, future MMA champion and voice of all of Southeast Asia. He is the one, the only, the Jaime.
What's up, wrestling fans? WrestleMania week, let's take over.
And we are so happy to have him take time out of his super busy schedule to join us. He is my tag team partner, my arch nemesis, and my very best friend. You know him from other websites around the world, but now you can hear him only right here doing his best work. He is the real Danny D, Dan Dorans.
What's up, guys? Flying out in less than 12 hours. So, yeah, I'll catch you guys at Mania.
All right, let's get things started. We are going to talk about one thing and one thing only, and that is WrestleMania. The 34th edition is taking place in New Orleans, Louisiana for the first time in exactly 4 years. Not a lot has changed in those 4 years. Daniel Bryan is still in the main event. Randy Orton is a champion in a multi-man match. Triple H is still in the main event and will get physical with things, as will Stephanie McMahon, who is also in the main event. So the more things change, the more... Oh, wait, Brock Lesnar is a champion and will be in a main event as well. So absolutely nothing has changed in the last 4 years. Now, this is a super big card, and I don't mean big because we have a lot of big guys on the card. It's because we have 13 matches to break down, 3 of which are coming on the pre-show, so let's begin right now. The first match on the card, as it appears on Wikipedia, because that is the most researched website in the world, is the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. So far, 14 men have been announced for the Battle Royal. Dan, give me a pick. Who's going to win?
Drew Galloway.
Fair enough. Jaime?
First two-time winner in history, Baron Corbin.
I am not shocked you said that, but you all are wrong, and they have a special thing for people that are wrong, and those people get deleted. Delete. Matt Hardy is going to be your winner. Either him or Dolph Ziggler. I'm thinking it's going to be Matt just because broken Matt Hardy is going to continue, much to my hatred. All right. Next up, the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal, formerly called, what was it called again? The Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal? Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal. We have 13 women announced for that. Jaime, give me your winner of the Women's Royal Rumble rematch.
It's more of a want rather than a pick out of storyline, so I'm going with Sasha Banks. I want her to win.
Okay. Daniel?
Becky Balboa, baby.
I assume that's Becky Lynch?
Yeah.
Oh, no. You guys are wrong. It's going to be Ruby Riott.
Let me tell you why.
No, I didn't say that. This is a completely different show than normal. This is our one-night-only special. I'm going to go with Ruby Riott. I think she's going to need it after what's been going on the last few weeks and what's going to happen at, WrestleMania. So the next match we have is our first championship match of the show. Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali are going to be fighting over the vacant WWE Cruiserweight Championship. My question here is not going to be who wins and who loses. No, it's going to be, can the winner of this match be on the roster in 6 months, stay out of trouble, and not be fired in a big disgrace? Dan, is that possible?
Yep, it's Cedric Alexander.
Jaime, how do you feel about that?
Yep, it's possible for Cedric Alexander, but I'm not sure it's the same for Mustafa Ali. There's still that indie itch in him. I can feel it. So if Mustafa Ali wins, He might not be in the roster in the next 6 months, but if it's Cedric Alexander, it's long due.
Fair enough. All right. Now here's where things get interesting. We go to the actual main card. 9 matches will be on WrestleMania proper, and the first one on my list is one that almost nobody wants to watch. It will be the one behind the one in 21 and 1, Paul Heyman leading his client, WWE Universal Champion Brock Lesnar, against Roman Reigns. We've seen this match before. We've seen it at WrestleMania before. Dan, Roman Reigns wins this match so Brock can go away, right?
Yes.
Agree, Jaime?
Yes,
Okay.
pretty
Now,
much agree.
Here's the thing: as someone that isn't the biggest supporter of Reigns, I don't like how Brock's been acting, regardless of storyline or not. So yeah, I actually want Reigns to win this match.
well, this is the first
He'll
time.
still get booed when he does.
I would say this is the first time Roman Reigns has been interesting. I mean, with what he did, calling him, Vince's boy and getting storylines suspended and everything else, people haven't hated on Roman Reigns as much as they have in recent years, and that could be saying something.
Yeah.
So, Jaime, who you got? Lesnar or Reigns?
Roman Reigns, definitely.
Okay, so far we're all in agreement on the title matches. So let's move on. The next match on my list is actually a match that everyone wants to see. It is a quote-unquote dream match that happened only a couple of times on the indie scene. It's the two most probable beloved stars on SmackDown and arguably in the WWE, and that's AJ Styles defending the WWE Championship against Shinsuke Nakamura. Jaime, who's your pick?
I'm going with AJ Styles because aside from he's the top guy right now, Shinsuke needs WrestleMania to prove himself that he still got it. Because for me, the best of him got left behind in NXT.
Fair enough.
That's a mojo feud.
Dan, rebuttal.
I think the best of him got left behind in Japan. When you look at his work from there, but I think Nakamura wins this match because I think it's time for AJ to switch shows.
Okay. Well, Dan is right, and let me tell you why. In fact, I'm not going to tell you why until we get to a later match. But it's going to be Nakamura going over AJ, and I think for Dan's reason. The next match we have on the card is a triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. We have a guy who's got one of the most entertaining factions against one of the guys who's got one of the most over factions versus a guy who is the leader of one of the most feared factions in the WWE. The Miz is the champion, and he'll take on Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. So, where do we go? Dan, who wins?
Balor.
Care to elaborate?
As much as I want to say Rollins, I just think it's Balor. I think they're going to give him a belt and they're going to give him a push.
You think
a well-deserved push, might I add?
So they're going to throw some weight behind the Balor Club then?
Yes.
Jaime, do you agree?
I'm going with The Miz because they're not throwing The Miz up the card to challenge for the Universal title anytime soon. And he has history to chase. So he's the most deserving, and Rollins and Balor can cancel each other out for the next 6 months and everyone will still be entertained. I'm going with The Miz.
Okay, well, let me tell you what happened the last time Seth Rollins was at a WrestleMania in New Orleans against the guy who claimed to be a demon. At that time, he was called the Devil's favorite demon, and it was Kane, and the Shield beat Kane and the New Age Outlaws in less than 3 minutes. Seth Rollins is going to win this so he can continue his feud with Finn Balor, and eventually the Shield will reunite and feud with the Balor Club. The Miz is going to get his time off to go be with his brand new daughter and his beautiful wife, and he'll come back 3 months before SummerSlam on SmackDown and go after whoever has the U.S. Championship or maybe the WWE Championship. I think that is a distinct possibility. All right, let's move on. Speaking of the United States Championship, Randy Orton will defend his U.S. title against Bobby Roode, Jinder Mahal with Sunil Singh, and Rusev with Aiden English. Jaime, who you got?
For the sake of holding the title in his new gimmick, I'm going with Rusev Day.
Fair enough. Daniel?
Rusev. I want Rusev to win. I will be at this match. I want Rusev to win this match, so I'm picking with my heart.
Okay. Well, let me give you another history lesson. WrestleMania 30. We were in New Orleans. Randy Orton was a champion, this time the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. That was when they did the two belts kind of thing, and he defended it in a multiple-man match against Bautista and Daniel Bryan. He lost there, and he will lose here. However, it won't be to Bobby Roode, who will feud with AJ Styles after he loses to Nakamura. It won't be with Jinder Mahal, because Jinder Mahal is on his way out of the company. Rusev's going to win this match just because he has the people behind him. Randy Orton is going to go away until he becomes relevant again at SummerSlam. Rusev's going to run with this, and I think it's eventually going to lead to a split between him and Aiden English and lead to a rather interesting feud where I believe Rusev will try to sing. Fair enough? We all good there?
Yes.
All right, let's move on.
Fair enough.
WWE Raw Women's Championship. 5 Feet of Fury, Alexa Bliss is going to take on Nia Jax. Jaime, who you got?
Alexa Bliss is going to get pounded only for her to slither her way into a victory. So, make things short, Bliss.
Daniel?
I think Nia needs to win this match, but Bliss is going to win. And Carmella cashes in. Oh
man, you took it from me because Nia Jax is going to get herself disqualified. Carmella's going to cash in, and Nia's going to be the new muscle for Carmella now that, her puppy dog, James Ellsworth, has gone by the wayside. I agree with you, Dan. Let's keep it in
I think that's a downgrade in muscle when you compare Nia Jax to James Ellsworth.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I think it's a 50-50 split. And weren't they doing kind of a love angle at one point? Or was that Tamina?
Enzo, yeah.
With Enzo.
Discontinued love angle.
Well, we know that's not happening. So let's stay in the women's division, and let's go to the SmackDown side. And probably the second best match on the card will be Charlotte Flair, the WWE SmackDown Women's Champion, against Asuka. The Streak versus the Queen. Who do you got?
The Streak.
Jaime?
Asuka's definitely winning this, but I'm really disappointed that there wasn't that much build-up, because if there's someone who could make Asuka doubt her abilities aside from Ember Moon, that's Charlotte.
Jaime,
Does that happen tonight on the Mixed Match Challenge? Does Charlotte almost get Asuka? I guess you'll have to watch to find out.
Oh, nice tease there, Dan, but we do not work for the WWE or Facebook. Jaime, there's been a build-up for this match. It was announced 6 weeks ago. Everybody wants this match. People need this match. This is going to be a good one. I said, second best match on the card, but y'all are right, it's going to be Asuka.
I agree that there's a build-up, but the build-up is not as strong as, let's say, the build-up Asuka had with Ember Moon back in NXT or back with Bayley or any other feud. The build-up's not that as strong as I expected it to be.
Right, but one thing you're missing out is Asuka was in NXT. They were trying to build her. She's already built. They don't need to do any more building on Asuka. She's a finished product. In NXT, they had to keep that narrative going. They don't anymore. So let's go back to things. We have the Raw Tag Team Championship. And we are looking at Cesaro and Sheamus, The Bar, versus Braun Strowman and Reigns Strowman? Is that what we're going with?
That
Well,
was the best.
according to WWE.com, it's still Braun Strowman and the partner of his choosing. So the Braun Strowman thing, it's not confirmed yet. But
Oh.
if it's going to be Braun Strowman, finally he's easing into the goofiness, which means he's sliding down the card. Ha ha ha! I'm so happy.
Okay. So who wins, Jaime?
Well, I hope it's Sheamus and Cesaro.
Daniel?
It's definitely Braun and to be determined.
Okay. I'm gonna agree with you, Dan, but one thing we need to realize, we have a beast of a guy who is insanely strong and stronger than probably anybody else on the roster. And he is gonna be using a character that claims to be his brother, a nerdier, a smarter version of his brother. Who does that sound like? Where have we seen this exact storyline play out before?
Not on Impact.
Oh, you sure? Jeremy Borash works for the WWE. Abyss and Joseph Park, they just did this. This is the exact same thing. I mean, I know the WWE is taking stars out of Impact like they're plucking seeds from a watermelon, but if they start taking storylines, what are we doing here?
No, I think that was a post Raw thing too. So I think it was just something for the fans, but they liked it, so they put it on the website.
I mean, I don't know what they're doing. I mean, if Borash has this much pull, congratulations. I just wonder how long it is before Scott Steiner makes an appearance.
Let it be Buff Bagwell before Scott Steiner.
Well, Buff's got to pry himself out of the Gigolo community in Vegas. Anyway, we're getting off topic. We need to focus. The Usos are going to defend their WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championships against the New Day and the Bludgeon Brothers. So we have two teams we've already seen go back and forth and fight crazy hard against one another, and then we're adding 2/3 of the Wyatt family. So who wins, Dan?
Unfortunately, the Bludgeon Brothers, but I want the Usos to win this match.
Fair enough. Jaime.
Well, let me give you a comparison first. We have already seen two teams make a series of classics in the past in DIY and the Revival, only to be beaten by the Authors of Pain. I'm seeing it's similar here. So I'm going with the Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah, what the hell? I'll agree with you. I mean, I personally don't care about this match. I think the Usos have gotten just insanely annoying with calling each other Oos and ending sentences with Oos and talking about a penitentiary that the only reason they have the penitentiary is because somebody was being racist and said they were, they belong in one. And the New Day with the pancakes, I mean, it was cute at first, and, they were over, and I enjoyed them, but it's getting old. And the Bludgeon Brothers, I mean, is it 1985 again? Is this what we're dealing with? So I think I'm gonna pass. If I had to pick one, I'll say New Day because they got the Freebirds rule. But yeah, I mean, I don't care. Do you guys care? I don't care.
No, I actually don't care about this match. I will tell you what, I would actually care more if it was just New Day and the Usos again.
Yeah, I think there may be some chicanery involved. Maybe AOP comes up. Maybe the Undisputed Era makes an appearance.
That's one of the reasons why I'm picking the Bludgeon Brothers, because if they win the titles, they could enter a bizarre feud with either AOP or Sanity, whoever gets called up.
Fair enough. All right. 2 matches left on the card. Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey will take on Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Is it 1999? Like, what year is it? What year is it that we have to deal with this again? Kurt Angle can barely walk.
You feel pretty strongly about this, don't you?
Well, Kurt Angle can barely walk. Triple H, I mean, he's old. He can still go, sure, but he's old. The best thing about this match is going to be watching Stephanie McMahon in tighter than tight clothing and seeing Ronda Rousey just slap the crap out of her.
Oh man, I'm not gonna lie. I am slightly excited to see Stephanie in tight clothes again.
Milfage of the utmost degree. So let's make a pick on this. Who you got? Dan?
Rousey. Angle.
Fair enough. Jaime?
It's obvious from the beginning. Rousey Angle.
Okay. I'm going to give you a pick, and I'm not going to pick the winner. I'm going to pick the loser. And the loser's going to be the water bill for the Superdome. Because if the card plays out the way I think it's going to play out, and it very well could, this is going to be the second last match to go on, and this will be the potty break match. It'll last about 10 minutes, and it'll be a lot of Kurt Angle and Triple H standing around, looking at each other, being all intense, throwing a few fists at one another. Ronda Rousey's going to tag herself in, forcing Stephanie to come in, and they're going to get a face-off before Triple H tags back in, faces off with Rousey, then Kurt Angle's going to come in, and then he's going to beat down on Kurt Angle. Stephanie's going to come in to try to humiliate him. Rousey's going to come in, and that'll be the end of the match. It seems just like the way these things go. So, I don't care. I'll pick Rousey 2, I guess, but I don't care. I don't care.
But it's going to be the match before the potty break, because if Stephanie wears tight clothes, it's got to be the match before the potty break, if you know what I mean.
Everybody knows what you mean, Jaime. Everybody knows what you mean. All right, last match of the card before we wrap things up. Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon will team together to take on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, with Owens and Zayn's jobs on the line. This is obvious, right? Like, we obviously know who's going to win this? Jaime?
Well, there are rumors that Owens and Zayn want out, so there's a possibility that Bryan and Shane wins this.
Okay. Dan?
That's news to me. I haven't heard that.
I was going to say, be the voice of reason here, bud. I mean,
it's gotta be Owens and Zayn to give Bryan some of that. Bryan's already a babyface, but that's going to get him over even more as a babyface, taking that loss. But Shane's taking the pin, and I think this is where Shane rides off into the sunset for a while.
Or, I like where your head's at, Dan, but I'm going to expand even further. Bryan goes heel, joins with Owens and Zayn. Now we have a stable over on SmackDown that people can get behind. They screw over Shane. Shane sticks around for a few more months, finds a general manager that can help him stick it to those three. I think it makes more sense that way. I could be wrong. Jaime, last thoughts?
Seems interesting, especially if Shane's going to get 3 people to stick with those 3. I wonder who. Okay. That's what intrigues me. So that's interesting.
Okay, before we go, we're going to play a little game. It's called the over-under game. Or this or that, or whatever you want to call it. Which is going to have more? Title changes at this year's WrestleMania, or wins the Browns are going to get next season? Dan?
How many titles are being defended?
9. All 9 titles are being defended. How many title changes are we going to see versus Browns wins next season?
Well, 8 technically, right? Because the Cruiserweight title is not being held by anyone.
Okay. Split a hair, that's true. Go ahead.
I'm going to say titles to change hands.
Jaime, do you want to weigh in?
I'm going with title changes because we've been talking about it the whole show, and we pretty much had everyone have their titles change hands.
Oh, what a goof! We missed the match! It hasn't been officially announced, but it's going to happen. It's a match that never should have happened. In fact, it's a match for a guy that should have retired 4 years ago and a guy that should have retired 6 months ago. Undertaker versus John Cena. Now, remember, Taker got the first loss at WrestleMania in New Orleans. And since that loss, he's already lost to Roman Reigns. What was it, last year? Last year? Okay, so 21 years he goes undefeated, and then he's going to lose 3 times in 4 years? Daniel, does John Cena beat The Undertaker?
No.
You think The Undertaker's going to beat John Cena?
Yeah.
Jaime, do you agree or no?
I don't agree. John Cena is going to beat The Undertaker. If there are 3 people that are worthy of beating The Undertaker at WrestleMania, that's going to be Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and John Cena. But the John Cena part came way too late.
I completely agree with you. It should have been Cena to beat him first, not Lesnar. But let me tell you something. This is a lose-lose situation for the WWE. It's lose-lose because if The Undertaker wins, John Cena looks weak. And he loses another big match at one of the bigger shows to a part-time player. If Cena wins, there's no way he can come out of this looking good. Where does the WWE go with this? Do both of these guys leave? The only way this can ever happen is if this match finally happens and they square off face to face and they get 5 good solid minutes of action and then the lights go out and the urn is in the corner and you don't see Taker again. And that is his official 100% done retirement. And then Cena can be all shocked and flip out and whatever, and that will be it. That's the only way this can happen.
What if we add another one to Undertaker's record, which would be a draw? Like, they try to cancel each other out until both of them could no longer go, could no longer stand, could no longer answer the 10 count.
Yeah, but they tried to do this once before, and I think it was with Kurt Angle where one of them got the pin and Angle got the pin, but he was tapping out to Hell's Gate at the same time. It didn't work then. It's not going to work now. The fans are too smart for that. They were too smart for it then. This is dumb. Like, there's no reason for this match to happen, and it's stupid that it ever came to be. Am I wrong there, Dan?
No, I don't like the match, but I think we get I think there's an American Badass on the way to New Orleans right now.
I mean, it would make sense given that Kid Rock is going to the Hall of Fame, and for 6 months, Kid Rock did have that theme song. It will definitely be something to watch, and Dan gets to watch it live. But that's going to be all for us on this one night only special. You can tune in on Podbean and on Real Sport to get our next show. It's going to be next week whenever Dan decides to get back from New Orleans and, rejoin the rest of us. But Dan will be MIA starting tomorrow morning and going through until what, next Wednesday?
Yep, fly home next Wednesday. Gone for a week.
There you go. Dan's going to be out of commission. Me and Jaime may do something, but we're probably just going to wait for the bearded bastard to come back. So we have a few announcements before we go. We are officially done with SoundCloud. This show will be uploaded to SoundCloud. It will also be uploaded to Podbean when it gets taken care of at Real Sport. But this will be our last show on SoundCloud. Also, you are going to be excited to hear that we are offering exclusive Caps Locks and Chair Shots merch. You can get a t-shirt with our new logo designed by yours truly. We're gonna be selling that. It'll be $25 for a t-shirt. You can find either one of the 3 of us on our Twitter accounts or Facebook if you're lucky enough to be our friends. And we will take down your information. I will get the shirts ordered, and I will get those sent out. Shipping will be on us as long as you pay the $25. So be sure to stay tuned for that. We may also offer vinyl stickers, bumper stickers, and hats. Just stay tuned for more information. Monitor all of our Twitter accounts where we will pass that along. But this is officially the end of our year. We will not be doing another show before WrestleMania. We will not be doing another show before our 1-year anniversary. We said our tearful goodbyes last time, but now we're just going to end this the way we have since episode 1. So, we'd like to thank you all for listening. And as always, if you're not down with the Caps, Locks, and Chair Shots podcast, I got 2 words for you. Keep listening.